What are we on today? It's on you now.
Yeah, we are already on the 20th, or Hatsuka, as they say in Japan.
What does that mean?
20th, eh? 20th of October, 2020.
2020. 10.
Yeah. Did you see the Chinese this morning with their vaccines?
Well, the Chinese are running up and down Great Wall of China as if it's a normal day, aren't they?
But they were injecting people with the vaccine already, millions.
Well, they're fine. They're fine.
What do you mean?
Well, there's no wrong with them now, is there? They're back to normal.
Well, it only takes a couple of
their economy is up 4 point something. They were expecting 5. They were a bit pissed off about that, but their economy's up 4.3 or 4.4%, and everything's back.
Well, I wouldn't say everything's back, but yeah, they're going the right direction. It's the first of the developed countries to be sort of on the road to recovery, certainly, yeah.
I'm quite happy that they are, and America isn't.
You're chuffed about that, are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the elections are coming up.
Communist.
Yeah.
Red eye.
Yeah. Because old Trump was saying that we're going to get it all sorted, it will be done by Easter. And look at him, it's even worse now, and we're coming up to November.
I saw him this morning referring to CNN as a bunch of bastards. That's a bunch of bastards. Nice.
But I thought so. When did we do the podcast last week? The Morning Glory one.
Yeah,
it was Monday, wasn't it?
It was. It
right.
wasn't. It was Monday.
It was Monday. So after that Monday, because I had a day off on Monday, I went in. And I'd had a sore throat from Saturday, but it were a different kind of sore throat. It wasn't one that I'd had before. So Sunday morning, I woke up at 1:30, I could swallow, but it really hurt. So I got on my bike, went to Family Mart, got some Vicks lozenges,
right,
and I was chowing down on them until about 4:30 in the morning. I watched The Mule. You know, with Clint Eastwood.
Oh, yeah.
Watched that, and then I went back to bed. Then I came in here, did the podcast, and then I got a bit of a cold, sniffling. Tuesday I went into work. Wednesday my temperature went up, so I took Wednesday off. I went back in Thursday, Friday, and then I've been fine ever since. Now, I don't think it was corona, I just think it was a cold.
Well, we're changing seasons very quickly now here, and temperature dropped from 36 to 12 degrees within the space of a couple of days, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the sniffles a bit.
But do you think you've caught that off me? Here we go, right on cue.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I get this every year around this time. Yeah. It's just one of those things. But yeah, it's easy to panic now. Someone coughs and the whole train looks round and rushes for the door.
But in my house, I was treated as if I'd had an affair. I've never cheated on my wife, but I expect I would possibly get the same treatment if I had. So on...
Well, what did you do? I mean,
on Monday, because I was coughing and blowing all sorts of snot and shit out, so on Monday, everybody sort of looked at me and said, right, you get in there, don't come in here. So I was put in bedroom, and I were allowed out for my dinner, which I had to take back into bedroom.
Right.
As soon as I walked into the living room, everybody put masks on. Nobody would talk to me and look in my eyes. They were turning away and talking. And I'm thinking, this must be what it's like when if your wife catches you, you've been shagging about. So I went back in. Sophia and Shima were keeping me at distance. And then Jean, who I've got a bit of a closer relationship because we're both idiots, he sort of kept coming a bit closer and coming a bit closer, and then I said, look, I've got Cobra Kai on my iPhone. So we started watching that. So he was sat with me. He sort of crossed over the border. And then since last Wednesday, she was slept downstairs with kids.
Wow.
So it's as if I've been caught at it.
Cold shouldered, eh?
But the kids know that something's going on between mum and dad, but they're not quite sure. So she said that were going to be her last night, as if I'm forgiven. So she's coming back up to the marital bed tonight, but we've both got to wear masks and there's no spooning. So it might take a bit. As soon as my symptoms go, I think we'll be back to normal.
No pants again.
Yeah. I'll have to keep my underpants on for now. But the kids have been loving it because she was going to bed at 9 o'clock. I've been upstairs living the life of a newly divorced father, doing whatever I want with the run of the house. So I've quite enjoyed it, but I wouldn't like it to last long term.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like it to last long term.
Well, it's an odd situation to be in, to be honest. But
and it was just a cold.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's she. We're just having a dry run. Maybe she's got ideas that I ain't got a clue about just yet. She's just dry running to see if she likes the lifestyle. And she's been walking around with a bit of a spring in her step, so maybe I should expect the papers through in the next few days.
Right. Follow her on a day.
But I'm all right now. Do you know when you have the flu or you have something that puts you down for about a week or 10 days, and then you come out of it and you're like a superhero, aren't you? Those first few days.
Yeah, you feel great. Everything's nice.
And I've been like that since Sunday.
Right.
Because on Sunday I had a ceremony of it in Chigasaki. So I got up at 5. I did my exercises, my stretching. I got on my bike straight over to Chigasaki. What's Chigasaki? 12 miles. Got changed, did the ceremony, aced the ceremony because I had to get mic'd up because I had to do the ceremony in a face shield. You believe that? You know, like they get the butchers at the supermarket. I had to have the face shield on.
But it doesn't help, does it? Isn't it?
No mask, no visor, just the face shield. Right?
Keep your mouth closed.
No, I was still talking.
That's unfortunate for them.
Yeah, so I did that, mic'd up, and then we were outside the ceremony before we came in, and the groom were really nervous. And as she put the microphone on, she switched it on, and she said, "Right, shh," to me. And he come out, and he's shaking a bit, is the fella. I said, "Kincho desu ka?" Which is, "Are you nervous?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm shitting myself." And I heard a laugh from inside, so we were live, so
right.
they'd heard it all. And as I came in, everybody's laughing. So that sort of put everybody at ease. Did the ceremony, finished it, and then cycled back. And since Sunday, Monday, had a fantastic day at work, and then today, just feeling great.
Yeah, it's nice after that kind of recovery.
Yeah. But you've been right, have you?
Yeah. I couldn't sleep well last night. I'm a bit knackered today. Because it's quite cold in the morning, so it's hard to get out of those.
It is more difficult to get out of bed, isn't it?
Yeah, and I start work at 5 a.m. I've got to be presentable, so that's me not in a happiest of moods for the first session. But it is what it is. Yeah. Because on the Friday, you went up to Tokyo for Jamie's birthday, didn't you? I did, yeah.
Jamie's been on podcast a few times. I were going to go up. I didn't want to, not because of him. It's just because I'm a miserable bastard and I don't like doing anything that puts me in social situations.
I thought you said he was an Australian wanker. You never wanted to speak to him again.
No. But the cold got me out of it, so I had my excuse. But what do you do? We were supposed to have a drink all together at 7, but as I had to work the next day, I met Brian, a rather good friend, at 5, and in a pub around the corner, and we had quite a few. We had about. Did you do the Nome Hodai at 5?
No, but we did better than that. We had about 6 pints in an hour and a half. And then, but the funny thing is, what we found out at this little pub around the corner is that almost everybody else who attended the party decided to have a few drinks before this birthday as well. So we bumped into all the rest of the
everybody
attendants.
Apart from Jim.
Yeah, everybody bumped in. Later on, he said, "I didn't know there was a little pre-drink going on."
So when he turned up, everybody else were pissed.
Well, they were merry. That way. But yeah, no one was shouting or touching faces yet.
Where did you go?
Just around the in a Yogi, that Irish pub, and Solas.
Right, okay.
Which they had a nomi holder, all you can drink for 2 hours. Yeah, I left at 9:30.
Were you in shit state?
Yeah, I wasn't in a great way, but I knew I had to go at that stage, and that made the train slightly complicated. I missed one of the trains.
Did you come on back here?
Yeah. I had to work at 6 a.m. on the next day, so that was me in a bit of a rough and ready state. But it went smoothly, and I've been a good boy during the week, so I could handle the hangover.
Is he 50 now? Or is he going 50?
No, you're right. I think it's a couple of days later. It's
right.
A few more days before. I think maybe even Halloween day itself that he turns to the big 50.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good little do. Yeah, I saw a few pictures.
But did you pig out this weekend?
Yeah, I had quite a session on meat, a few steaks, a bit too much mayonnaise on the chips.
Because what folk don't know is you, for the first time, 15 year?
Yeah.
You've got under triple figures?
Yeah, I'm under 100. Yeah, officially.
Are you just under, or are you well under?
No, I'm under. Yeah,
just 99.
99, and then after that pig weekend, I went back to 100, and then back to 99 now. But that's the first time in it's got to be 15 years, I reckon. Yeah. In my defence, I am 190 centimeters tall.
Yeah.
And I did do quite a bit of sports a long time ago.
Now, when I came back from Spain when she were pregnant in 2010, I'd had 6 months in Spain on the red wine, bread, cheese, meat, and I was 101 kilos. Now, when I got here, I lost about 5 kilos in 10 days, but then I plateaued. So we're 96 kilos, and I wanted to get down to 80 before I left in the following May. So, what I did to get myself there, to give myself a bit of a boost when I plateaued, where I took these tablets.
Speed?
No.
Crack?
No. Well, I'm going to put this clip on. Well, not the clip. I'll put the thing on YouTube on the Just Passing Through podcast YouTube channel, but I'll show the camera these now. These are little pink pills, right?
So
you take 5 of them, right? You take 5 of them, and then you've just got to be near a toilet because you'll get a bit of a stomach ache.
Yeah, don't you touching those if I'm going to eat them?
You take them now.
Your dirty northern hands.
Take them now, because this'll really give you a boost, and because. When you're getting up to 100 kilos, or you've been over 100 kilos for years and years, you're gonna have a lot of shit in your body that you don't need. Now, what this does is, you'll take them now. Yeah, go on, take them. Get them took.
Take them. I'm gonna take them. Now, well, these will be just passing through me.
Yeah. Just as the podcast.
Yeah. There we go, listeners, viewers. 5 of these little bad boys.
And they don't look much, do they?
Well, they don't taste like much either. Alright, now there is Japanese writing on the back, which is the only reason I believe these things. I'll never accept anything from a northerner in the form of a pink pill.
I'm giving you something for nothing that's going to help me out.
Well, they'll be the judge of that later on if that helps me out. Yes, but I asked the missus, and she had said that. Well, she defined them as constipation.
Yeah.
Release pills.
Well, I wasn't really constipated, but I needed a gentle push. So when me and Shima lived in Nakano, which is in the middle of Tokyo, I was working just at the other side of Shinjuku, so I used to walk it, and I took 3 of these in the morning, and I got to about early afternoon, and they just weren't working. I thought, what a waste of time these are. I'm there in my size 38 jeans, I couldn't fasten a belt right, they were tight, and I had to go to work in the evening. So I took another 3, and I thought, right, let's see how these work. So I set off for work. I was working from 6 till 8, and I was walking through Shinjuku, and Shinjuku has got these big fancy shops, haven't they? Big fancy malls and stuff.
Quite a few of them.
Walking through Shinjuku, and then all of a sudden I get this bit of a stomach ache. And I thought, I think I'll go to the toilet after I've had my lesson. So I get past this fancy shopping. It might be opposite Tiffany's. I don't know what's opposite Tiffany's in Shinjuku.
Oh, I would know that. Yeah, you're on the Shinjuku Dori.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that big, huge street. Yeah.
And then I walked about another 50 metres, and then I just thought, I need a fucking toilet now. I need a toilet now.
What are you going to do? That's not a good place for a toilet.
I went straight into this shop. I can't remember what it was, but it was posh. I walked right to the back of the store and saw the sign for the toilets. I went into the toilet and there were one toilet. I thought, please, if there'd have been somebody in there, I would have shit myself.
Oh, nice.
Opened the door, nobody in there, sat down, dropped the tweeds, and then the floodgates just opened and everything in my body came out in one go. And I'm gripping the toilet and I'm going, and then I went again, and there were a gap under the door and a gap at the top of the door. So the person who knocked on the door, as if to say hurry up, could hear what were going on, and they were just as if to hurry up. And I'm like, what the fuck? There's this rush of water coming out. You know, if you threw a plastic bag out of a third floor window and it hit the ground, that's what it sounded like.
Right.
And I get a knock on the door, and I said, what the fuck do you want me to do? And out it comes, and I thought, I can't go to my class because my stomach were hurting so much, it were cramping, everything, more were coming out, and more and more and more, and it wouldn't stop. And then eventually, everything calmed down, and I were breathing heavy. God knows what the people outside thought were doing in there. And then I sort of leant back on the toilet going, oh, as if I'd just been in a car crash and survived. And then went about the job of mopping up.
Now, why would you not tell me that story before I downed 5 of these little...
Because I want you, when you're going through your turmoil, I want you to just sort of think past that. Because after I'd done what I'd done, I have never felt so euphoric. So
you had a good shit.
So no. This was you. It was. I was on a different level. I was on a different level. I felt as if I'd just come out of 2 weeks of flu. It feels as good as that.
Well, a good moussaka would have done you the same.
No. This felt amazing. And then I left. And I went to this class, and it were a load of Vietnamese policemen that would come to Japan to study English. And I were teaching them, and they were having the best lesson of their lives, and I were teaching the best lesson of my lives. And I could have danced on air. I went home, I walked home, I got on the scales at home, 4 kilos.
4 kilos off?
Gone. Yeah.
Did
4
you
kilos.
Shit out an organ?
Well,
that's why you're at it?
It felt like it. It felt like it.
Oh.
Yeah. So... when you've done what you've done, just message me and go.
I'm going to work at 3. If this is going to interrupt with my work,
you should be all right by 3. What time are you working till?
3 to 4,
and then
6 to 8.
Well, I think in between 4 till 6, you'll probably have a bit of a. That's how it starts.
Well, let me tell you one thing. Between 6 and 7, there is no toilet available.
Why?
Because I'm in someone else's house. It's a very posh situation where I'm teaching these very elite kids.
We should have talked about this before you took them, shouldn't we?
I'm not going to interrupt my lesson with the nanny as well sitting there. And I'm like, let me just foul up your toilet.
But so what time's that? Between 5 and 6?
No, it's 6 and 7.
Yeah, you should have been cleared out by then.
You're right. Well, only you're responsible.
It depends how good your metabolism is.
Oh, it's the finest in the world, don't you know?
Well, you might be having stirrings in a few hours.
Well, here's hoping. I'm going for a nice long walk on the beach anyway, in a bit.
Well, you know how far you would take.
You know the toilets on the beach.
Yeah, but take the toilet paper with you, because they might. Well, do they have toilet paper in there?
I always use sand.
you come out of the toilet and wipe your ass like a dog does.
Roll around in the sand for a bit. I should explain that in Japan all the beaches have these perfect toilets available within, what's that, 200 metres, a nice toilet with a shower outside. If there really aren't any no toilet paper available.
I don't know what the public toilets are like in Holland, but
It's
people in
ridiculous.
the UK seem to go to public toilets just to make a mess of themselves.
Wow.
People just don't seem to know how to shit or piss when they're in a public toilet in the UK.
The shit will be up the walls. No, the same in Holland, which is why in Amsterdam they counted that there were only sort of, I think there were 3 public toilets available. All the rest was all you had to pay.
Yeah.
And it's like 50 cents or €1.
Yeah.
You know, that's not fair. If every time, I remember my dad used to have to go into a cafe because he would have to piss every hour or something because he was 75, and he would have to go into a cafe and he would have to order a coffee to use the toilet, and then every time he, of course, drunk, he'd have to go to piss again every hour. So he'd spend up like €5 a day just on visiting toilets.
Because I drink so much water, I go to the toilet all the time. So yeah, when we were in Amsterdam 2 or 3 years ago, I were always the same. But they've got those little public toilets that men can just stand up to, can't they, in the middle of the street and go there. But it's useless for Shima and Sophia.
Well, depends how drunk they are.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen women even
Just trying to go in there.
take a shit in a urinal. It depends how drunk you are.
How are the Dutch doing with this lockdown?
Pretty bad. I think we're on a country of 17 million people, and we're having 8,500 people a day.
Wow. Have
Have
you having another lockdown? Because they're saying Belgium's expecting a tsunami of cases.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that they don't. No one calls it lockdown anymore because it's the scary word which will kill off any economy. So they're just saying stricter measures, which equals lockdown. No, yeah, in Holland it's stricter now. No, the pubs and the restaurants are going to be shut for a bit.
That's it. The last time you had a lockdown was in the 40s, and look how that worked out. Is that why they don't say it?
Oh, what are you talking about? We had a lockdown a couple of months back.
Did they say lockdown? Yeah.
I think. But no, I mean it's going badly. That's as good as it gets.
But I like to see the Hasidic Jews in New York. They just don't give a fuck, do they? They're just carrying on regardless because they know that nobody's going to try and lock the Jews down. So they're just carrying on as business as normal. It's like, fuck you. Fuck you, Cuomo. We're carrying on.
Yeah.
Try and lock us down. See if that gets you back in.
Yeah. No, it's not going the right direction there. Willemstad, I think, was the place in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Can't lock the Jews down, can you?
Well, in Israel as well, there's some of the other areas, the more fanatical ones, they're not getting the message.
Yeah. Well, this is what it is. When I was saying to you earlier before we started, all these people that are protesting about getting locked down in the UK were all Boris supporters.
Oh yeah.
And now that they're getting locked down, they don't like it, but they still support Boris. And I was thinking, if it had been Corbyn, would he have done a better job, do you think?
I don't know. Whoever has to do that job isn't going to be popular. Whatever way you look at it, it's going to be a mess in any case. Would he have had the numbers down? I don't know. You'd like to think so, but I don't think... I think Boris is just unlucky to be Prime Minister at this moment in time.
But there's nobody to bring in, enforce it, is there?
No, but that would have been any Prime Minister. No one could...
Corbyn, being as he is friendly with the Irish, I think he'd have brought the IRA in.
The IRA?
The IRA would have been wandering the streets of Britain. You know, anybody comes
the irony of it.
Anybody comes to the windows, they just put a gun in the face. You know? And the Brits will protest, but they fold so quickly. They're not like you lot, or the French, or the Belgians. If you protest something, I don't know, are the Dutch the same? I know the French are. The French will protest and protest and protest
a nation of
until it gets sorted.
Oh.
Whereas the Brits will fold like wet tissue paper.
Really?
Yeah.
What about all those movies, Brastoff, and all the protests in your neck of the woods?
The miners' strike, do you know how that ended?
No.
I think it went on for about a year and a half. They didn't get anything that they asked for, and they just went back to work.
Is that how it ended?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they all got got reserved.
Fuck. No, he put brother against brother. Margaret Thatcher went and raped the north of England, sending in police forces from all over the UK to sort out the riots. So there were policemen coming up from Hampshire and Cornwall and waving fivers and tenors because they're on overtime, waving the money at the miners going, thanks for this, lads. And then the miners would kick off, and then police would come in on horseback and just mow into them with the truncheons. It were good to see. The miners were standing arm in arm in protests,
right.
And the police were just running them down on their horses and just braying them with truncheons, knocking them out, and then the policemen on foot would come in and drag them away. They're just cowards. Yeah, but they kept it up, but they went back to work after a year and a half, and nothing got sorted.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but we're such fucking pussies when it comes to protesting. We'll do it for a few weeks, and then I've got to get back to work. I've got no money.
Well, what's the successful ending then to any of these protests? There's got to be one.
There's none.
There's not a single success story.
No. You think the protests against the Iraq War? They did that for a couple of weekends in London. They shut London down for a couple of weekends, and then there were a million and a half people on the
Something
streets
like that, yeah.
of London protesting to Tony Blair. Tony Blair knew the playbook. These fuckers will protest for a couple of weeks, they'll get bored, they won't do it anymore. Let's go to the Middle East. The price of petrol went up in 2000 because I don't know how much a litre of petrol is in Holland. What?
No, I don't drive a car, so I have no clue.
Right, well in 2000 it were 80 pence a litre.
Right.
80 pence a litre. And the government put it up. So 81% of fuel in the UK is tax. 81% of it is tax. So they put it up. So all these truck drivers, all these fat fucking truck drivers said, no more, we're not having this. So it was September. It was 8th of September 2000. And these truck drivers, I remember seeing them on news. They said, right, we're having a protest, we're going to bring the country to a standstill. And they went to all these refineries and they blocked off the refineries so no deliveries could get out, right? And then the NHS went on red alert. Sainsbury's didn't have any food in, and it all shut down. Now I were driving wagons at the time, delivering crisps up to the North East, but also I were delivering bandages to this hospital, to hospitals. So the company I were working for got exemptions, so we kept getting fuel, right? We kept getting fuel deliveries. I stole so much fuel that week and sold it on, made a fortune. Anyway, going back to the protests, do you know how long that protest lasted before everybody folded?
A week?
8 days.
That was close.
8 days, right? The country didn't come to a standstill. These wagon drivers, realising that they were losing more money having just a week off than what they would do having working for a year, decided, all right, we've made us point, back to work. So the fold, at every point of the protest in the UK, the fold, and the government knows this. So there'll be protests about getting locked down. They'll last a few weeks, maybe a month. They'll fold. We do it every single time. Whereas the French, no more ferries into France. We're not doing anything until the Brits do this, this, and this. Otherwise, we're not doing anything. And they will keep it shut.
Yeah, they stick to their guns.
Until
the French. Yeah.
The good thing about that fuel protest was there was this fella, and he were a typical fat, horrible business owner that just wanted to make money off you. And that week, he'd got one of the last deliveries of fuel to his garage. Everything's rocking and rolling now. That's on. Right, we've just come back now because these pills seem to be working their way through Duncan. They're going through him like a Porsche.
Mexican water.
Yeah.
That's within an hour, and I had a little result. It wasn't like what you described.
No. This is the calm before the storm. You're having your little shower, your little drizzle,
my aperitif,
and then the hurricane is on its way.
Well, that's lovely.
Trust me. You will thank me. And
but I'm scared to sneeze, to be honest. The story you told me.
But once you get this cold that I've had, if you do get it, you'll feel like an absolute winner when you come through it.
Yeah, you made it sound fantastic.
So when they're on about this lockdown, did your the shares that I've bought have just gone to shit now. They're not worth a paper they're written on.
Oh really?
Well, I think I lost about £500.
Well, that's not too bad.
For a Yorkshireman. I mean, they will bounce back, but when you're looking at your phone and going, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's not very motivating to.
Do you think it'll go tits up again before it gets better?
Well, who knows? I mean, things could get better today or tomorrow. You know, that's always the case. But you're on Lloyd's, right?
Mm.
That's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, and I've put a load of money in because Airbnb is going to float.
Right.
And that's going to be.
Well, I'd say that's a bit more riskier in terms of the global situation as it is with that business. But yeah, who knows how the wind blows? It's all a gamble.
But it's like I'm new to this shit, and I've figured it out now. I know how to send money online from Japan to the UK through my banks now, whereas I used to have to sit in the bank while they did everything over the phone, and it cost a fortune, and you were sat in the bank for like 2 hours while they sorted it out, and you had to have 3 lots of identification.
Pint of blood.
Yeah. Now Shima I give the money to Shima, she deposits it in her bank, and then she sends it over to my bank. Now she's gone through all the process and they've accepted all the details and stuff, and I'm thinking they're gonna say no at the last minute. You know, like they always do. When we first got here and you applied for a credit card, they were saying, oh yeah, and then it got to the final bit, no.
Yeah, I've had several of those.
Have you got a Japanese credit card?
Yeah, I do have now, but that took a bit of getting used to being shown the door.
It took me 13 years to get a credit card here, and it wasn't until I was a permanent resident and I'd been married for longer than 5 years.
Wait a minute, didn't your first one, what is your first one? The one that I suggested?
What? The Rakuten?
Yeah, no, the EPOS.
No, they won't give me it.
They won't give you EPOS?
They won't give me EPOS.
They gave me that on the spot almost. Here you go and get out of here.
I don't know. You must have a trusting face, but I think maybe because I'm a Brit and their economy's going to shit at the moment.
No.
Well, they weren't entertaining it. But Rakuten, straight in. But then with Rakuten, they won't allow me to go into the stock market using their account.
Oh, okay.
Because my name, you can't write my name in kanji. That's the excuse they give us.
Well, my name can't be written in kanji.
Yeah, but this is the thing. They don't trust me.
Well, rightly so.
I must say thanks.
None
taken. But yeah, they won't trust me, so I'm having to do everything through the UK. And then the fella that I went with through the UK, he called me up. What are you doing in Japan? I live here. So why have you got a British account? Because I'm a Brit. Have you got an address in England? Yes. How long do you spend over in Japan? Well, I live here full time. So
yeah, that kind of conversation.
Yeah.
There's a bit of confusion.
So it might seem as if I'm some sort of international, arms dealer, I like to think. But then when I told him the amount that I'd be trading each year, he obviously knew that £5 grand ain't going to start a revolution.
You said there was a picture of the house in the situation. Sure, mate.
Yeah.
Here's some pennies.
But they weren't having a bar of it. And I'm thinking the same thing's going to be done with us, because Shima was saying, I don't think they'll trust an interracial marriage sending money back to Europe. So we'll see. I'll give you an update next week. I don't know. They're still not very trusting over here, are they?
Yeah, it's an odd mixture. Sometimes I'm surprised how quickly that got done, and sometimes it takes ages to do a little thing. Have you got your My Number?
Yeah.
You got your pass?
Yeah.
Your plastic card?
Yeah,
Because I got first a paper card, which wasn't enough.
Oh, I never got a paper card.
Alright, well, all these sort of steps, I felt like I was qualifying for a point card or something.
Are you a permanent resident in Japan now?
No, still not, no.
Why not?
I just didn't get the paperwork done. I have the paperwork at home, it's all filled in. I just haven't got the final seals on it and everything.
Is it just because you don't want to, or do you want to?
No, I want to. It's pure laziness. Because I've been here for almost 20 years now, so I wouldn't be in trouble getting it.
And do you know, if you go to immigration in Yokohama, it's a doddle. It's not like Tokyo.
Right.
Tokyo's a complete fucking shit show. You go to the one in Yokohama, it's out on seafront, other side of it's south of Yokohama, but it's on the sea, and it's absolute paradise compared to Tokyo.
Yeah, that Shinagawa was rough. Do you remember?
I didn't go to the Shinagawa. Mine was in
the Chikawa.
No, it was the one. Is it the Odaiba one? It's on the docks, isn't it?
I haven't been there yet. Oh no, yeah, no, sorry, that's the Shinagawa.
Is that the Shinagawa one?
Yeah, that's a real.
That's the
circus.
That's the one on the docks. I went in there. That's the first time I saw a really small Japanese girl see a black man for the first time in there, right? So there's the mother and the daughter, tiny little kid, maybe 4 years old, maybe Korean because she was queuing for immigration, and there were a black fella stood behind him, and I was stood behind the black fella, and the little girl turned round and looked up at this black fella, open mouth, with just looked up at him, and then just reached up and grabbed her mum's cuff of her arm and pulled it down twice. Mum looked around and the daughter just pointed at this black man. And the mother saw what she was looking at and just got the kid and spun the kid round.
Hey, look.
But this fellow was just laughing. But yeah, the queue when I went, it was coming up to Christmas. Right. I think it was the day before the national holiday, so the 22nd of December, I were getting a renewal on my visa.
Yeah.
Which you got a couple of years, don't you?
Yeah, in the beginning.
2 1 years and then a 3 year.
That used to be the case, yeah.
Yeah. And I went, I think it might have been Christmas Eve actually, because I were in there and our friend Tom Gowan were in there, because he were getting married in Hawaii and he needed to get the re-entry visa, so his didn't get cancelled. And when we came out of there, because it's such a depressing place, and we felt we need. It might have been Christmas Day actually. It might have been Christmas Day because we felt we needed to celebrate. So we went and got a few cans from the Family Mart and went and stood by those depressing docks, looking at Rainbow Bridge, having a couple of cans.
Yeah, that'd cheer you up a bit.
Yeah. In fact, it was Christmas Day. Yeah. Yeah, it was Christmas Day. It was so depressing.
It's a rough and tumble place. I remember as soon as you got out, there'd be the I don't know if it was Jehovah's Witnesses, but there'd be some church or another sort of trying to get members.
Yeah?
Yeah. They're out there trying to recruit. It wasn't Jehovah's Witnesses or the Mormons? I can't remember. But yeah, they had all their leaflets and pamphlets ready to snatch up new members. Yeah. And I had to wait for 2 hours, so I had a chat and just try to annoy them as much as I could, which successfully I did. One woman accused me of sucking the life out of her after an hour of discussion on the existence of God. Yeah, you've sucked all the life out of me, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
But that's not a Christian, that's not a Christian thing to do, is it?
Show you the other cheek, lady. But anyway, I joined up. I'm a fanatical Christian now.
But, so do you have to go back there every 3 years and get it on?
I got a 5-year one. But I think I'll send in my papers for.
I would do, because I'm I got mine sorted in 2016. 2016? Yeah, 2016. And I don't have to go back there till 2023.
Yeah, I think I'm on 2023 as well, yeah.
Yeah. But I do, because I've met a lot of people here who flatly refuse to become permanent residents.
On what grounds?
I have no idea. Oh, they get into all your medical stuff and this, that and the other.
Oh, then maybe they haven't paid their national health insurance. So some people haven't paid that for years, and if you don't do that, you get a bill with back pay of 10 years. Roger got one, Roger the Dodger.
Yeah?
He got, I think it was 10 years, and it was something like 5 million yen he had to pay.
Really? That much?
Yeah. Because they just calculated per month, right? Go back all the way back.
Because when I came back from Spain, obviously I put into process the permanent resident as soon as I got back, but they give me 3 years, 2013 to 2016. They give me a 3-year visa, and then I went and got the permanent in 2016.
Well, it's easy if you want to get a loan or anything like that.
But they won't give me a mortgage because nobody gives you a full-time contract to you. Nobody will tenure you, will they? So I could never get a mortgage, but I don't want to buy an house here.
You can get a mortgage if you go to Shinsei Bank.
Right.
They're quite friendly to foreigners. It's a purely case by case basis.
Yeah.
They're based on your character as well. So yeah, probably you won't get any mortgage at all. Kick you out right away.
Because Shima found this 3-bedroom apartment in Yokosuka. It's an ex-government. No, it's not in Yokosuka. It's out towards Hayama. It's Hayama. And it's a 3-bedroom apartment, ex-council house. You know those buildings?
Yeah.
But it's only 5 mil.
5 million yen?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be a horrible state, and it's probably run down,
But
pulled down within 5 years.
But can they do that? Can they pull the house down and you've got no left?
No, you'll have to. They'll have to give you an option of something else or
Right.
something like that. But it won't be an easy process.
Do you know if you go to Atami, there are studio apartments in Atami that you can pick up for $1.5 million, 2 million. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're quoting sort of £10,000.
Yeah.
And there's much available.
You think you could use that as a weekend home, a weekend getaway, because it's a spa town, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful there.
Or when you retire, you could just live there and see your days out there.
Right.
But yeah, it's nothing, is it?
No, it ain't. No.
But where will you see your days out?
Grave?
Here?
No, I have no idea. I don't think that far ahead. I'm not even sure I'll make it that far.
I won't be retiring.
No, but there are so many other factors that go through my mind before I think about that. No, so in answer to your question, no. I mean, I see myself retiring on a nice area, not in the city.
In Japan?
Well, Japan or some of the islands, the littler islands, or Indonesia, quite like that area.
Because if you can live on your Japanese pension in Indonesia,
and my Dutch pension, I've got two pensions.
Or in the Philippines, yeah, I'll have some kind of English pension coming in. I think it'd be about 90 quid a week, but 90 quid a week is £360 a month, plus Japanese pension, plus the private ones that I've got. You could go and piss off to Indonesia for the winter, couldn't you? And then come back, do the weddings in wedding season over here, and then fly back.
I don't plan past next week, mate. I don't see myself in that situation, which is probably why I'll be ending up under a bridge, as my friend says, eating tap water sandwiches. Yeah, I don't see myself in that light yet, which is a good thing or a bad thing.
No, I think it's a good
thing.
I think it's a good thing, because if you're planning what you're going to do when you retire, you're planning all these things that you're going to do when you retire. Like, we have done a lot of shit already, haven't we?
Yeah, I think also if you plan that much, you're not going to enjoy the situation you're at that much.
You're not going to enjoy the full moon party on Koh Phangan in Thailand when you're 65 years old as much as you enjoyed it when you were 31.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Well, that's the fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Well, it depends if you got...
I've got friends at home said, "Oh, we're going to do what you did when we retire." So no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to be in a fucking 50 pence a night shitty hotel in Vientiane in Laos when you're 65.
No, you'd be in a nice 4-star
Yeah, you're not
hotel
going to do that. And
a load of whores and a kilo of coke or something.
Yeah, but you're not going to enjoy it as much. You're not going to put up with the shit at 31 that you're going to do at 65.
Well, yes and no. I've got a different theory. I've seen enough people at that age who still go berserk. It's not as if you can't.
On backpacker.
Oh no, not in that situation.
Yeah,
no. They'll be in a. They at least have their own toilets.
They'll be doing the sex tourism thing, but you know they're not going to be doing what we were doing when we were in the 20s and the 30s, are they?
Well, I mean, the amount of booze alone, a body wouldn't be able to take. But I think it'd be a bit more a druggy tour than a booze tour at that age.
But I'm so 60. Is it coming? Is it coming?
I'm still on air. Going on fumes. As I say.
It's gonna come. The cork is gonna pop. So
I know. I'm scared to sneeze, as I said.
Do we need to stop this?
No. You're right. If it happens, it happens.
You see, we've got the update on the pills. These magic pills.
The toilet is right behind here, so I'm a metre away from the toilet. I've never shat myself within a metre of being.
So if those of you watching on YouTube channel, if there's a break in proceedings, and there'll be a Duncan-shaped hole through this partition as he's run towards the toilet,
A sweaty face returns.
pulling his tweeds down as he goes.
Yeah, you know what will happen.
But they'll work. I'm telling you, you've just got to look past what you're going through now, and you can give everybody an update next week.
I look forward to it. I wonder if they glow in the dark.
But Shima said they were for women, them tablets.
Oh yeah.
So she said you should double dose. This is the first time I took them. She said you should double dose. So take 4, because Japanese women only take 2. So I took 4. They didn't work. I took another 2. Fucking work then.
You gave me 5.
Give me 5. Middle distance.
You said 4 was your max.
No, I took 4 and they didn't work.
Oh, I see. I
took another 2.
Oh, okay.
So I took 6.
Right.
But I needed to lose a lot more weight than you did because I were at your weight and I'm 5'11".
Right.
And what are you, 6'3"?
It's 190 centimetres. I don't know what it is in
the
northern terms.
Well, we all are still feet and inches. But you'll be right. But I'm a bit worried now. If you've got this all singing, all dancing class at what?
In 6 hours, yeah. And it's a very posh house. That woman is a trained psychiatrist.
How many kids?
Top psychiatrist. It's 2.
Is it top dollar money as well?
Yeah. It's the best paying gig I've had. Yeah. And I don't want to foul up their chaise lounge.
1 hour.
It's it's 40 minutes actually. Just 40 minutes.
And I'm not bullshitting you when I say you think to yourself, oh, I need the toilet, but I'll wait. You can't wait. You can't wait. I once took some of these. Because I had really fucking bad wind once on it were a Saturday night, Sunday morning, and I'd been to one of those shabu shabu restaurants.
Oh yeah, nice ones.
And we'd been given a free rein because it were a works do, so we could have what we want. So we had stacks and stacks of meat. So I just filled myself up, and then I got home and I woke up on Sunday morning about 3, and my stomach had a dint in it because I had trapped wind, and I could not stand up straight because the wind was so. And I had a wedding. So Shima said, take some of them. So I took some, and the wedding started, and I thought I might blow here, so I tucked my pants in my socks.
Bicycle style.
I took my
Bicycle
pants,
clips.
took my pants in my socks because I thought I'm going to shit myself.
Right.
And then off I went down the aisle, and as I walked down the aisle, I blew this cloud out. I just blew this cloud out of my ass, and the fella were following behind me. So as I got up behind the sedan, the altar,
he was cursing
he followed me, and it looked as if he were about to be sick because he'd walked through the fog that I'd produced.
Northern fog.
And then we started off, and in comes the bride and her dad, and they were still getting the remnants of it. So when they both arrived, I think they knew it were me. I got through that, and when you
his wedding is.
when you finish the wedding, you're supposed to stay where you are.
Right.
Say thank you to the bride and groom's parents and stay where you are. I said thank you and I fucked off quick, and the floodgates go open again. So you might have a 20-minute grace where you're putting it off and putting it off, but I think it's just mind over matter. But you have no control of your asshole. No
That's
control.
a lovely story.
No
Thank you
control.
for sharing.
Is the
It's still 6 hours.
Is the chaise longues white?
It is, yeah. It's this beautiful sort of cashmere.
Well, you might destroy that. Put some
Pants on.
I'd get some nappies from
I'm not
supermarket
going
just
to go
in
there
case.
in nappies.
Just in case.
In case I shit myself.
Just in case. I would. If it's such a good paying customer, I would.
No, I've been traumatized. I once had this very good customer this movie producer.
Yeah.
And he invited me to his house, and we'd have an hour lesson about all his scripts, and we had to do presentations in English and stuff. Went through it, and then I was burning inside, and I had to excuse me to go to his toilet, and it just was like this horrible abstract painting, and
That's his baby.
and the sound that it was ridiculous. It was noises. Now I was cursing myself as well. And then I flashed, and he knew damn well what was going on. He never asked me back to go.
Would he have heard you?
Oh yeah, I mean, the whole block heard me. I think they're still talking about me.
And he didn't ask you to go back?
No, never. No, I saw him at a party later, and he said he was very busy, and he'd call me again about...
Did you say, is it because I had a massive shit in your house?
No, what's he going to say that? He's not going to say that. But I think I lost that gig because of that. But that sort of traumatised me, yeah. Because he was there with his wife, was there as well. And I don't know if there was just too much to clean up, which I didn't spot on that
And
moment.
you'd not taken any tablets?
No, just one of those unlucky days. When you go, you got to go.
Yeah. Well, that's the sort of day you're going to have today. But you should be right.
Because I'm so close to the toilet, I'm not scared to do this.
You're playing with fire because you think you've got a safety net of the toilet just behind the screen.
I'm going through the whole of fire.
You conduct a wedding while you're at that door. I think that's when you know how.
Yeah, well, no curries for me today.
Right, let me have
On that bombshell.
That'll do. That's just coming up to an hour. I'll edit that down a bit and we'll be away.
Perfect.
So we've done. What have we done today? Protests. The IRA. Duncan's weight getting down.
Yeah.
I've given him these drugs on camera.
Yeah, and I'm actually down. You wouldn't say it by looking at me, but this is the lightest I've been in a while, so I'm feeling pretty good.
And what we're going for? 91 kilos.
1991. I'll be a blessed man. Yeah.
Well, there we go.
So that's 8 kilos more.
We'll keep you updated. Next week is next week Halloween or is it the week after?
Week after. We're on the 20th now, so that's 10 more days.
10 more days.
Are you doing anything? Are you gonna?
Oh, it's an American holiday. I don't celebrate Halloween.
No,
I don't celebrate
Why would you?
Christmas. So
Why would you?
Why would I celebrate Halloween? Bollocks to that.
Why be alive, actually?
Because I love it. I have a ray of sunshine. I bring sunshine to every corner. Every corner I shine light on, I bring a bit of ray of sunshine to everybody.
Yeah, gloating at everyone's misery. That's your joy in life.
Just throwing out my shit pills to anybody that wants them.
Wrecking people.
Right then. So you can wrap this shit up.
Yeah, well, that's us for the 20th of October. The next time we'll speak to you will be under the American election, pretty much. That's in 2 weeks, eh?
Yeah.
2 weeks exactly. The Tuesday. 2 weeks.
Let's have a thing on that. So what day is November 3rd?
It's a Tuesday. It's 2 weeks exactly from today, and it's getting more and more mouthy. Trump's using more and more mouthy language, if that was possible. But it's the most amazing shit show of today. Just to hear him speak it's a gobstopper.
Let's try and get a podcast when the results are coming in. See if we can.
I don't know the time difference, how that would work.
Yeah, I think it's after, but they're not going to get all the results initially. There's a lot of mailings.
Yeah, that's true. That could be days,
We'll see. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do.
We have a live. I'll be David Dimbleby. Who will you be? Dame Edna.
Yeah, damn it. Why not? Why not? Right then.
Yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, everybody, or watching if you're watching at home, and we'll see you next time.
See you when I see you. Boom.